You can also hear me. Welcome to the show. Today we will be reacting to Minecraft Live. I know a bit more, and I know about what's coming. About what's coming up. We're doing it this way. Yeah, I like how they're introducing us. I know it's not my headphones because I thought those worked. Maybe they do. I like how it's kind of showing what the update's been. The Nether update was the last one, 1.16. Then this update. This is for another when foxes were added. Minecraft Dungeons was another Minecraft game. Phantoms, when were Phantoms? There's the aquatic update. I'm pretty sure that was 1.11, 1.10, maybe might be 1.12. Then Panda Bears was one, I think, one entire event coming together. If you guys want to know why this is 23 minutes in, I just skipped the pre-show.
Hello, update is the update that we know that so many of you.
I already know what this update is, but I'll let you guys find out.
For such a long time.
Everyone's been waiting for this update because this is one people asked just a long time ago. Caves and cliffs. The caves and people have been wondering, hey, we should update. Like, there's new ores, new things. They're gonna update the caves. They're changing the cave generations. We'll just let you guys find out. And me, because I haven't seen the entire thing, I've seen a few clips just so I know what's going on here.
It must feel amazing to be able to tell everyone that.
Seriously, like, I'm so excited about this. I mean, even before I joined Mojang, I was always thinking about, like, when is the cave update gonna come? And this is it, but it's also got the cliffs as well. It's got the mountains. Like, this is such a big update, and I'm so excited.
How are you feeling, Agnes? Great. Like, no, it's so good. So
did say they were fun. Because I want it. I like how they did that. I like how
are very, very excited. This year we asked some of our communities to submit questions that will. This first question definitely feels like something
from some other
developers.
These questions will be.
Mi pregunta es, ¿por qué se han tardado tanto en actualizar las cuevas? ¿Cuándo llegarán? En verdad que hemos estado pidiendo esto por muchísimo tiempo.
Why has it taken so long? Like Brandon, I've been waiting a long time too. Yeah, that's a very good question. So since this update really is the update,
yeah, you're not going
so it felt so important for us to do it right. Like, we don't want to rush it. But now we feel it's the right time. Like, we have spent the time we need to really understand the vision we have for the update, and also to make sure that we understand what the community actually wants. And we've also planned around it to make sure.
In January, and I actually came from the community. I used to do modding for 10 years.
There are, of course, many Minecraft mods. There's some things they're adding that were from Optifine mods. They're thinking they have an version. They're actually going to be in Minecraft, which is great news, honestly.
Because first mods I worked on was the Aether, which is like a dimension out at Sky Islands and stuff. And yeah, I'm just so happy to be here and work on an update this epic.
How that would be. I've created some mods, but not that many. I actually got rid of things. Storage. I don't.
Making sure that we can have as much variation as possible within the actual caves themselves, but we want to make sure that the old caves are still retained as much as possible to keep that classic feel.
Yeah, and we really also looked into to make sure that we have
caves,
for
original caves. Minecraft's updated some things.
It's also very diverse
1.6 in this different thing. Change how the Nether generated. Biomes. That was interesting.
We made sure to map all the features.
I still play Minecraft. I would recommend it. They either change things for different player styles. You can see who don't like it when it's too hard, people don't like it too easy.
Really see that we fulfilled the thought process on how you decide what even goes into an update this big. Yeah, we have spent quite a lot of time on just making sure that we have a very good fundament for the update. For example, we did the player style mapping, and we've also worked with design pillars. So the design pillars, they kind of describe the vision of the update. So for example, they help us when we prioritize between different features, and also when we define each specific feature.
There's just one meaning. People are really going to want to know what's happened. People really want a bunch of features. They're going to throw them all out once, or some things are changing. Heard one thing. I heard about coppers and ore.
They describe the vision of the update. So for example, they help us when we prioritize between different features, and also when we define each specific feature. And we have 3 pillars for this update. And the first one is actually all about the spectacular mountains, the snowy snow, and the mysterious goats. Because last year's live,
that was on an old goat. For what do you want to add in Minecraft? You have past Minecons. Goats was one of those things that was asked.
Both the
To be an
features,
interesting.
and we felt like it's so important to deliver on that promise, so we actually wanted to have it as a pillar.
And another pillar that we actually integrated into this was adding strategy to mining. So of course Minecraft already has plenty of strategy in mining, but we wanted to add even more mechanics that make it interesting for players to mine in the caves.
Yeah. And the third pillar is to create an underground of marble for the players. And that pillar is a lot about like adding variation to the underground and like contrast and like inspire players to craft their own underground adventures and build underground. And
I think it's kind of simple here. Building underground, but I've also built above ground Minecraft.
Cave biomes, and one of them is the Lush Caves.
Caves? Yeah, I like the flowers they put on the leaves. Lush Caves. This is somewhat sounds like this is a showdown. How did they get this beta access? Looks like this is a basketball player. Oh, having green underground, having a bit more of a nice cave looking thing. Having a cave. Yeah, I like that. Having the cave be a bit more cave. And the little wars. This isn't the most beautiful place, but they're helping with that. Flowers, vines, match out these things are made for building. Seeing what everyone's going to build in Minecraft. Maybe guys, do you want to join our Discord server? You guys can show me photos of your Minecraft builds. I might even explore them in videos. So I do have a few things coming up. I have a few things.
All the original caves, they're pretty much the same. There's not.
Some people play with older Minecraft. I know 1.8.9 popular, 12.2. That was before they had a bit of a newer texture design we're used to.
Not much variation in terms of vegetation or different features inside of it.
Yeah,
so for this, we wanted something which is a bit more like light and lush and actually has vegetation. And I think it looks amazing.
Gorgeous. What was the inspiration behind it? So we were thinking about, okay, how should it feel when you are in a lush cave? And we wanted to be like you feel like very tiny inside like a big garden or big forest. So like when you look up, it's actually like vegetation above you, it's vegetation around you. And one source of inspiration we had is actually a Swedish painter called John Bauer, because in his paintings it's always or often at least like a tiny character, and then it's like huge forest, and you see like the bottom of the trees because the vegetation is like, so big compared to the character.
And you're adding so many new plants in
the
Lush Caves.
World, and this is called an Azalea Tree. So it's a unique type of tree that it'll be easy to spot for players. And if you actually find this and start where there are certain landmarks which will allow you to understand what you're doing in the game.
And another one of the new blocks is a block called Spore Blossom. And it's that you maybe saw it's a big pink flower that you find in the roof of the Lush Cave. And
it's the idea of having a flower, having enough flowers.
But it will also actually feel like a big volume around it with particles. So it's similar to the particles that we added to the Nether biomes in the Nether update. But the cool thing here is that you can move the flower if you want to and get these particles anywhere you want in your world. So you can actually be very creative with that.
That's so awesome. And the Lush Caves have a real glow to them from one of the plants.
Yes. So there are vines in the Lush Caves, and they have glow berries on them. And these are actually a light source. You can also pick them and eat them if you want to.
Yeah, well, I like the idea. You can eat the flowers.
And another plant we actually have is the drip leaf plant. And you can actually see that they can kind of grow from like water or anywhere else. And they have like a little plant on the top that you can actually hop onto. So
this is a major update. Seems like it's gonna do a lot of things in Minecraft. I know I said that last time. Also, there's Minecraft for at least Pocket. They're probably going to add some big new thing. It's kind of like called the Wind. There was a creator built this map, and they had bits for players to play it. They might have something like that there.
This will actually make you fall through. However, after a few seconds, it'll come back up. So it's kind of this like platforming block that allows you to just
this would be good for parkour
over and over again, which I hope is really exciting for content creators making maps.
Yeah, you can build like your own platforming levels, and then they will repair
He knows how these happen. What people like.
It's so beautiful in there, and there's actually a mob coming to the Lush Caves.
Yes, there is, but we will actually not tell you about this mob now, because in the end of the show we will show even more features.
Oh, you guys are gonna have to stay for the end of the show.
It's amazing.
Yes. Yeah, it's exciting. You've also worked on improving the cave generation.
Wow, that's a giant cave. They're gonna have giant caves now. I like the idea. Improved cave generation.
And there's definitely still the old style of caves, but we wanted to make sure that there was much more variety in the sort of caves.
I like that idea. Like a giant underwater cave. Yeah, I love this. This is gonna be a great update. This is gonna be a big one, so I don't think it'll be unfortunately. We got the 1.16 update.
We get naturally generated waterfalls, which is so pretty.
Waterfalls, yeah, I like that idea.
It also kind of gives
like
new ways to traverse
they're part of the end city.
the underground. You can actually go cave rafting.
Oh, that might be a fun
so
video.
Cave
rafting. So many new ideas. Minecrafting update. We might do some things on the screen. No, I don't. On the screen.
And that is just such an exciting opportunity to be able to traverse the caves in a very different way than you used to.
Yeah, we actually were playtesting, and then one of the devs
seen people try to build these. I think that's a light pack because.
So another thing to note here is that you can see that a lot of the ores were actually glowing. This is just for preview purposes. Ores aren't going to glow now. It's just that the caves tend to be quite dark.
Oh, you're saying
that only be for the normal caves, or will this run across all of the new cave biomes? So the really cool thing is that the new cave shapes and sizes is completely independent from the new biomes. So that means that we have so much variation. Because for example, Lush Cave can for example generate in a super narrow tunnel. But
there's so many more options for maps now. Wow, I want to see what people are going to build. We'll explore them when this comes out. Or there's probably going to be someone who wants to build this at a time using mods. On the live chat, tell me on Discord, there's
cheese. That's how varied the cave.
I mean, there are so many different variables with how the variation works, and I mean, it has even more variation than the overworld itself. It's just crazy.
It's a lot flat, some are tall, lots of variation. Very nice. And you have another new cave biome to show us.
Yes, so we have the Dripstone Caves biome. And whenever I think about the idea
Dripstone
of the cave...
Wow, look at what that's going to look. See that people, the icicles might fall, hurt people. I do not need these things out. That's going to be interesting to updating cave generation. Wow, that's
the image of
amazing.
Stalagmites and stalactites comes into my head. But adding these are pretty
Wow,
difficult.
I can't wait to play on this, so make sure to subscribe to see it happening down here.
But I think the way
there's
that
going to be so much more exploration to do. We might even do another survival series.
And of course, there's some match mechanics surrounding this, so you can see that.
Oh, I like that. They can fall. Those would be good for traps. If we want to build it when this comes out, we probably will need more before this also. Little secret bases, and then they can use them to kill the monsters.
Also, unfortunately for the zombie here, if you fall on these
yeah, that would make good traps.
You'll get hurt.
Of course. There's another interesting mechanic in the Dripstone Caves. Yes, so maybe you saw in the video that from the stalactites, you could see that it was dripping water. So actually, if you put the cauldron under the stalactite, it will fill up with water. So it's renewable water. Remember which is stalactites and stalagmites. That's a very good question. It has been very tricky to remember that, but I think I learned. So we actually,
as you guys saw in the picture, stalactites are the ones that go down. So nice go up.
The wrong one. So stalactite is in the roof and stalagmite is on the floor. Perfect. Yeah. Something really amazing in this update for sort of redstone engineers out there.
Yeah, I already know this one is. I'm excited for them to show you guys what this is. This is going to be amazing. There's already mods for this. They're updating redstone, but this is still a bit complicated.
Yes, so we've actually been thinking about this.
It says it right there.
Block that lives in the deep dark, a new biome at the deepest depths of the world.
Oh, probably not bedrock biome or something.
And this is called the Skulk Blocks, and it comes from it. So if we look at the video, we can actually see that it's basically this growth, and this is called the Skulk Blocks. And one of the blocks is called the Sculpt Sensor. This is the new redstone block.
Sculpt Sensor.
When you place or destroy a block, or if you have footsteps, it'll actually detect the vibrations around and then emit a redstone signal. So this is going to be very interesting for redstone players. We even have a mechanic around it where you can actually use wool with wool occlusion to essentially prevent signals from being able to
wireless redstone. Wow, it's like I make a step noise. It alerts the trap. Like my brother makes this happen in my base. I can alert trap. Wow, that's going to be.
Let's take a look at that now.
Oh, I like that one.
And as you can see here, I walked next to the Sculpt Sensor, and it's actually kind of doing an infinite loop where the piston is causing a vibration, and then it's activating the Sculpt Sensor and going over and over again. But here, I've actually put a wall block in between the piston, which prevents the signal from going to the Sculpt Sensor. This can allow you to even do sort of directional Sculpt Sensors, where you can put wall blocks on each side and only allow it to detect vibrations in front of it. And vibrations can be so many different things. You know, it could be a snowball hit, it could be an arrow, it could be footsteps, it could be blocks, anything.
How do you make the sensor for it only does it when?
Well, we had a bit of a happy accident with this because we realized that we get wireless redstone thanks to the Skulk Sensor.
Yes.
Oh, I like it. Check that out. Check that out. Wow. Cool.
But then when we started playtesting, we're like, wait, we got wireless redstone. And that's so exciting. And, well, you can just build so many cool things with that.
So yeah, I can make it for when you hear noise.
Yeah, you're really looking for community feedback to make sure this, like, feels great for everyone.
So any feedback you have, any ideas,
change the audio, make sure you missed nothing. It didn't even start.
Later, but I think it's time for.
Because basically, I have to boot this up before I boot the other thing up, or it doesn't work. Wait, it's a very scary mob.
And it lives in like the deepest of the underground, in the deep dark. And this is a very dark place.
There's a new mob.
And the cool thing is that this mob is very well adapted to the environment. So it can't see anything. So it's the first blind mob in Minecraft. And it will react to vibrations, just like the Skulk Sensor block.
Oh, so I like the vibration idea for Minecraft. That's going to be a great thing for redstone. Challenge for survival. We'll just see how whatever.
We really wanted to make sure that we kind of recaptured that feeling of the first night of Minecraft.
First time Minecraft. I see what that means by the scariness of the zombies. I always go mining that first night. But of course, while we're doing this, if you guys do have a favorite part, if you guys like the best in this thing, make sure to tell me in the comments below.
Like, we can often forget to go back to that. I mean, caves can be scary. They're dark, quiet. And watch closely for the warden.
Bum, bum, bum. Here's a bit of an example. Here's the warning field. Here's the noise. This little sensor, here's the noise. They want to make. They still haven't made torches if they go out, but that's gonna be really hard for players to like. They still haven't made torches go out. I think that's something Notch wanted to, but they didn't add that for some reason. I like the idea of the deep dark. I love the idea that this deep dark. What's it mean? Look, if you go back there, actually stop it. Preparing for the mob. I wonder how much health we'll give it. So much interesting things. Oh, there's the warden. I like this trick. Check this out. I've seen this clip. They walk over there, and then you can attack it when it doesn't go up against you because they can't see you. See the light goes there. We can break into his base and there's probably some treasures in there. Uh-oh. This is going to be a challenge if we ever explore the deep dark. Well, that's me about exactly. They seem like they're going to do a lot of damage. What's their health like? I'm not. King to God.
What did we just see?
It's a very different mob. I'm really excited for this because not only is it trying to be scary, it's, you know, we had to keep a balance to it. It was very challenging to design a mob like this. Another thing that's really important to notice in that video, I was wearing full netherite armor, so it's very powerful. You definitely want to watch it.
I don't know how they got access to the beta version, how that works. Probably.
Which I think also is such an interesting gameplay, because like if you want to, you can avoid it, but then you need to really be careful, like sneak all the time.
I can sneak on it and then hit it.
But that's a lot of fun, and it's like it's scary, but in the good way.
We should try to build
everyone back to that first night experience with the warden.
Absolutely. I mean, I had such an amazing experience when I first played Minecraft. Like, it was terrifying listening to zombies underneath my house and then the players, but, you know,
they can maybe do some pre-recordings, but we also want to get these live streams.
But that would be amazing, because you hear so many lovely first night stories. It's such a big thing, and I mean, I was very fond of my first night in Minecraft, so
I don't think
we hope to.
You liked it. Just gonna say, smart. Make sure if you want to build a house, if you want to make quicker, I would say go mining, go find diamonds that first night. Make sure you're prepared to build a portal. Nether, make sure you get some diamond. Naturally not diamond. You can say not diamond. Gold now would be better. With gold, piglins won't attack you. Some of those strategies, those all those type of things. Minecraft. This has me.
But also really terrifying. How did you decide? We actually worked a lot on how does scariness look in Minecraft?
I don't know. That's kind of funny. They might do that. You feel the players, it's scary. This is a bit of a design mechanic. How they designed it.
We wanted to be very scary, and we didn't want to take away from the scariness. But we thought, let's add some derpiness to it. So it's like a mix. So for example, we added mouth. I love the mouth. Reacted like, oh, it's so cute. Which I think it's more scary, but I think we find like the perfect balance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Read as character. Yes, definitely. Well, you've been sitting up here. You just announced an update that everyone has been waiting for, and we actually have
been waiting.
Developed this game together with the community, and now to see that people are so happy.
Like this, and an update like this, and we just love this game, and we want to make the best update.
I didn't watch it live because I want to make sure I got my reaction here. This is such a good update. It's going to be so much fun.
Of amazing new things. Don't forget that we have another segment full of even more cave updates later on in the show.
Peek into what your vote is bringing to Minecraft on the cliff side of the Caves and Cliffs update.
People voted last year for the mob.
They're
goats.
Both mischievous and adorable
Goats
at the same time. As you can see, they live on the mountains, and if you aren't careful, they might knock you off. They also have excellent jumping skills. We'll also get better mountain generation with spectacular and more dramatic mountains, with height-dependent lines and mountaintops that will be more challenging, with lots of snow and ice. And speaking of snow, yes, it will be snowier.
I don't think
it's snowing. A new block called powder snow, which will be a kind of trap block.
This might
similar to snow, but if you or a mob walk on it, you will fall right through. Now let's talk about this mob to choose from. And to introduce them, once again, have Tiny Agnes and Tiny Jens. Let's see what they have to show.
No, this is how they do the show.
Bees and movements.
These are
These friendly cows live in the flower forest biome. Yellow as sunshine.
These are the things that you guys could vote. I think the vote already went out, sadly. Wasn't.
We are friends, right, Agnes?
You're talking about which one? This one.
Record these videos on an actual mountain. They are animated.
The isolager is a new illager that lives on mountain tops.
I like this. I wish this was the one they added. I think that is a different one, but I wish they had this one.
You did pack the supplies we need to survive the night up here, right, Jens?
You can't get too cold in Minecraft.
Do you ever wish Minecraft's oceans were glowier? Wow.
I've seen these clips.
What I meant to say again.
They did give this one the funniest clip.
Agnes, Jens, it's really distracting.
Can hypnotize people?
They're so tiny, and they're so susceptible to distraction. Hopefully that won't happen to you. The results of the first round of voting are in. The round which determined which mob streams would be Dash, with no hope of making it into the final round.
This was one I'm pretty sure you're going to vote off on.
It was intense. But sadly, let's all say a fond farewell.
I'm going to show you another little I like the title.
Hello, I'm Quinn, head of the Marketplace Partner Program.
I'm a developer on the Creator Systems team.
We can make
people like the schedule command that is coming out soon.
I'm Jason. I'm a developer in the engine team, and we've been responsible for a lot of the modding type capabilities that have come to Bedrock over the last couple of years.
Bedrock
is super cool. So your
teams no mods at all. Now they're expanding upon it.
marketplace partners all around the world to help make content for you.
This is like the maps you can buy. This is like the skins, how that works. Yes, you can just install them on the internet, but now they've done it differently.
Video based in California.
Yeah.
We create lots of marketplace content, and I've been making tutorials for the last 7 years to teach others how to make their own Minecraft skins.
Minecraft guys. My name is Mark from SBot Studios, and we are 15 working here with the Philippines.
Like, this is adding new things to our room, through the marketplace. We can buy maps. Just some of them are free. We did try Way of the Nether and some other parkour maps a while ago. This is a bit of a showcase. What's coming to the marketplace? Private Punch. Minecraft Live. This is actually not the first year. They call it Minecraft Path. Thank you, Mr. M Productions. Thank you, Mr. M Productions did just comment on the live stream.
The best part is all these features can be used by all creators. So what do you have to show us today? Yeah, so for the last couple of years, we've been doing a lot of work with the entities in the game. So this time, we doubled down and gotten it so that we focused on items and blocks. So as part of that, I made a custom crop to kind of show off the capabilities. So over the summer, everyone emoji.
An echo. I heard
Studios was given tomato seeds to try and grow a tomato plant at home. So I thought that was kind of perfect inspiration.
Tomatoes.
Make a
This
crop
is one of those little
I can actually go pick. So in this case, I made it work like the sweet berry bush where you can right-click on them. But I think tomatoes taste disgusting, so I thought it was better to make them as something you can throw. So Quinn and I had some fun. We were throwing them around. It's harmless or sort of harmless.
Yes, totally harmless.
Yeah.
It
was most, but tomatoes will actually rot on the vine as well, and if they rot for too long, you get
I like the idea because tomatoes rot while you're using them.
Fight him off here.
Some bedrock.
But, yeah, he throws rotten tomatoes. They don't fly as far. Normally, you would eat the item, but or you can make projectiles. But they also have the ability to get events that are fired from things like a tick event. So as that event is fired, you can make the block run through multiple stages of growth, and eventually get to the point where you can choose what loot spawns at various stages of growth and stuff like that.
Among Us, another very popular
get the tomato out. Yeah, it's just another it's an interactive event that you can key into.
Yeah, and then there's a tomato monster there at the end too.
I call him Tomo.
It's so cute. It's not even scary, but yeah, it's an example of what you can do with them combining events and commands. That's one of the features that our creators have requested for so long, just having commands to be able to run them when something happens. So now, instead of also, in addition to doing it with actors, you can also do it with blocks and items. In this case, as the flower is rotting, you can disappear that crop and also summon a tomato.
Yeah, with all these things, dropping it, adding to
like for
pocket.
example, the little adventure that
we still have
desert. And then we found
this
this
does get rid of
mysterious
in Minecraft.
golden skull and also an equally mysterious pedestal in the middle of the desert. So we decided to place our golden skull over there and see what happens. And yes, we have a mountain that is followed, and the brave warriors that we are, we went exploring, and obviously we found some creepy monsters inside. Luckily we have our trusty custom sword to fight them off.
That doesn't seem very safe.
No, not at all.
But that pedestal, I know that's one of the most requested features, block models.
Yeah, so I'm super excited that we finally be able to get block models in. Something we've been wanting to do for years, and we're finally able to work on them and get them in. So we got it working with using the same formats that we've been using for the entities, so the same tools that people have been using to build custom mobs, they can use to build the blocks with.
Oh, that's cool. So you don't have to learn a new skill. You can just continue
almost identical.
That's awesome. And then I noticed on the hotbar with the golden skull, there was like a little red triangle. What was that?
Yes, it's a feature that we're calling item lock. I don't know if you found yourself sometimes just going through some content and you have this special item and then you die and you lose it, or maybe you drop it accidentally. Now we've made it so that creators can actually lock something on their inventory so that when you die.
So nice. I was gonna say that makes it super easy because I've definitely been in an adventure map and I lost the key on accident, and then I had to go and try and fix that.
Yeah.
And then when you place the skull, there was a lot going on in the background.
Like there are 3 features to talk about right there. The first one is like we've been wanting to give more power to creators with cameras. This one is just a small one where we just shake the screen. I don't know if you noticed that one. And then you can help players convey something like there is an earthquake going on, or maybe something is going to about to fall over you. So you can do that with this new tool.
Or dinosaurs.
Or dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Place them using commands, whereas before you had to be using a structure block, which is more complicated and time consuming. Now you can do it much more easily. And as part of those commands, you can now animate the structure placement. For those that know this, like the mountain was opening and that was just a structure animating. We provide a couple of effects. One is just like a 3D printing animation, and the other one is layer by layer. And yeah, you can combine them to just achieve very cool effects.
Yeah, I can see like creators, using those to add just another level of polish to their world.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And then I recognize those scorpions.
Yeah, well, the desert theme, it felt appropriate to bring them back. They've always been one of my personal favorite custom mobs that I've ever built.
Yeah, but after watching that video for so long, I ended up having a nightmare about having to rescue my mom from some like aliens riding scorpions. It was creepy.
I'm sorry, that was not the intention.
It was creepy and funny.
Yeah. Well, speaking of aliens, I know our team put together a really cool sci-fi parkour map that, they made you run through, Jason.
Parkour maps?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they knew this when they asked me to run through it, but I'm pretty awful at parkour. So it took a few tries to get a clean run through.
Okay, parkour. If you guys want to
beginning here, it's a pretty typical sort of parkour map of running and jumping, but we definitely have some twists up ahead. And here's kind of the first one of, even I know I can't make that jump, so let's see what's in the chest. We've got a Sliminator. So hopefully I will jump and be able to clear this gap. Please, yes.
More developers for the marketplace.
Clean up. So get teleported to the next section, kind of make it along, and see what next obstacle we have. So now I know the chests have useful things in them. So we got a Blockinator.
Yes, there are some ways to mod.
And we got the hot dog, or cyber dog. And float up, but it poisoned me, so I needed to use the antidote to rescue me there. Get across.
Good choice.
Through here, and we got a wall on the way, so let's see what tool we have to get through the wall. And insta presto, you can get through here.
Still mods. We can use both.
Our last obstacle here, but I can see the teleport pad, but I can't quite get to it. But that shaft up above looks promising, along with the ladder. Let's go up, see what we get here.
You still replace items that are on
I can get to the teleporter. And Fanny's already there.
You made it.
I love the aesthetic of that too as well, like all the art and things. So those teleport blocks, those seem like a really cool way to add like another level of immersion to the worlds you're creating.
Yeah, with that specific items and blocks, we get so many new events that you can act on. Like for example, in the case of the teleporters, you can step on it and then an event will trigger and you can react in so many ways. You can add particles, or in this case, for example, you run a series of commands that just teleport you to the next area.
That's awesome. And I love the Sliminator, the Blockinator, the Magic Wand. I've never seen items do that before.
Yeah, so that's another example of how combining the same tools you can achieve so many different effects. For example, the Sliminator was just using the event and the fill command, right, to replace the blocks at the bottom with the slimes. Then the next one, we have the wand, and that one is just replacing blocks with air. And then we also had the Blockinator, which allowed you to walk by placing some blocks, replacing air with blocks. So it's by combining events and the same command in different ways, which is so many cool effects.
Yeah, so it's just small, little, simple things you can combine in lots of different ways. Yeah, get a wide variety of results.
And even that Blockinator allows you to make that jump.
Yes.
And then I also saw that there was messing with mob effects too as well.
Yeah, so we've had an example of custom food in there, but in addition to just satisfying hunger like a food normally does, you can add and remove mob effects. So we had the cyber dog that gave 3 effects: the levitation, nausea, and poison. And then we had the antidote that
would actually only remove 2 of them. So unlike a bucket of milk that removes all mob effects, you can make things that remove very specific things. Yeah, and it seemed like you got, after you use that, or after you use the magic wand to get to that wall, it seemed like you were stuck, but there was something else that was going on there.
Oh yeah, so there is the block that was in my way. So we made it so that another one of these events, similar to the on-step on, is we also have an on-fall on. So in this case, it was just an on-fall on, and you can set what distance you want the event to trigger. So you have to fall at least 10 blocks or something like that. And when you land on it, we then break the block, similar to like the tomato plant and other things that we saw earlier.
Yeah. And it seemed like it took you quite a few tries to make it through, but Danny was able to do it first try.
Yes, unlike others, 86 times. Yeah. And one new feature that we have is that on raw text, you'll be able to show the names of the players that are of interest at that moment, and also show scores, like in this case we were talking about many times.
Which we will probably in videos. Yeah. This is more of a what's coming to Minecraft videos. You guys can tell me what you guys want to see in the comments below.
And with these new features, there's going to be a pretty amazing new thing coming out later this year.
How long is this section?
For all Minecraft players.
Free developer maps. This is going to be an interesting one.
Your descent will begin in 3.
This is a free map for Minecraft players. The mod. Well, we will probably do this map. This sounds cool. Yes, what? This is starting the final section on this video. This is starting the final section. This is starting the final section where we will be exploring what
for this update. And if you thought the first set of features for the caves were awesome, it's time for what else is coming to the Caves and the Cliffs update. Hello, welcome. Hello.
Hey.
How does it feel?
It's so amazing. It's so awesome to finally be able to share that with everyone.
Yes, it's great, and we have looked a bit at here.
Comment down below. What's your favorite thing to the update? What mob you want to see come?
I joined this year. But honestly, I'm not completely sure how that happened. And not just joining Mojang. I'm not really sure how I'm here in Minecraft Live. Because like just last year, I was home, glued to the stream. I had to know what the next thing is coming to Minecraft, and today it's not only that I get to share that, I got fairly incredible. But yeah, I've been developing games for a few years now, and more recently I've actually worked.
In this update, you've been really looking at like filling out the caves.
This is going
to
add so many new things.
Underground.
This is a big ambitious
update.
Updating caves, updating creatures, which we will find out towards the end. What mob got? Amethyst geodes. This is something. It's going to be a new ore. It's going to be an interesting one. They're going to be I like the shiny or something. I'm actually excited because it's the block ness in Minecraft.
They're so beautiful.
Yeah, I do like the idea of the
beautifulness. You see that glowing thing. That's so. Yeah. It's incredible.
The atmosphere in the crystal geode. It's like mystical. Yeah, they're so pretty. And we were thinking a lot about like what is the purpose for crystals in Minecraft. And one thing is like they should have use, and we will talk more experience of exploring. We want them to be quite rare. So when you find them, it's really gonna be like magical, because they're this beautiful, and when you walk on the crystals, you hear these sounds.
Yeah, it's just we talked before about the pillar of underground of Marvel. I feel they're just the perfect feature for that sort of pillar.
But you can't just take them with you.
Right. So you can break the crystal plant with.
Interesting. You can't just take.
Actually, grow from a very special block. And that block is unobtainable. It's sort of like you think about spawners, right? You cannot just take it and put it in your base. It makes you go and build farms all around your world. And I just love those sort of features that really encourage other gameplay in the game.
As an explorer myself, I'm very excited about finding all of these. And you mentioned a usefulness to them.
Yeah.
So, from those crystal plants,
it's a crystal armor, but I think they might be more interesting.
And you can actually use them to craft a telescope.
Telescopes! Telescopes in Minecraft. Wow, I just know that there are mods that already have telescopes, but this is going to be an interesting one. Telescopes in Minecraft, you have to use Optifine. Yes, they do that. Optifine's a mod that help you make that look better. But yay! Telescopes in Minecraft. This is all the amazing things coming. Make sure to subscribe. Check these out whenever they come.
Cool.
The annual announcement when they
cool thing is that, so yes, you use the crystal shards to craft them, but you also need something more, and that's also a new thing.
There's new ores added. This is a new ore. Check this out. This is copper. They're adding copper to Minecraft, which is honestly kind of similar to iron. I wonder how exactly it works. How would copper work? This is wow. Yeah, there are copper stairs. Yeah, this is going to be an amazing building block. Yeah,
copper. That's amazing. Yes, it's new ore. And you saw the copper ore in the video. And a very interesting thing with the copper ore.
You're gonna have some interesting things because they don't want to make it just like iron. It's kind of
way. So normal ores often like an ore blob, but copper is different.
Yeah, because it's like they come in vines of 6.
Are out mining, and you see copper ore. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna mine the copper, and then you see some stone. It's like, they look a bit different. So you continue to mine, and then you find another copper ore, and you probably go like,
okay, from every other, not together, to make it people keep mining.
So we're actually adding ore veins to Minecraft, and like they really add so much to mining. It's about adding strategy to mining.
Yeah. That's amazing, and you've personally wanted copper in the game since
copper.
You start.
You mentioned it once or twice.
Well, maybe a few times. We do copper roofs in Stockholm, and we've actually added that mechanic to Minecraft as well. So, if you place a copper block, it will first be orange, but after a while...
I like how they're doing this. Might be a bit annoying, but besides that, this is going to be it. Wow, this is going to be annoying like that. As you see, you don't want it to turn green. Looks a bit like the Prismarine, but it's green. Looks a bit like Prismarine. Those are the shards you find in the sea temples.
Copper will only be used for the telescope. You actually have another really cool
copper armor? I don't think so.
Yeah. So, Jens talked a bit before it happens. The player either caused it or it has a way to sort of avoid it. And one of those exceptions, for example, is lightning striking.
Oh, that is going to be good. I'll let them explain.
Oh, like the grandest castle in my realm actually has a roof fully built of wool.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. But
if it's built with wool, it will break. But so for this. It's going to be a big, ambitious update with so many new features. It's going to be a lot for this update. Hit on game modes. I really don't use those. I really don't use those blocks things because I really don't like using this because if you bring them on when they all fall. This is a lightning rod. Yeah, that's good news because the lightning rod will make it for when lightning strikes. They won't burn down.
That is very useful for all the wool roofs out there.
I guess we'll be good for color design.
A lot of our players. Even personally, I had this peaceful game that I played with my partner, and it wasn't peaceful. And we went out and we were like looking at animals, collecting a few animals to our base. And we came back because I consider myself to be someone who knows a bit about Minecraft, and there are no creepers, there are no endermen. So what happened? We figured that probably a lightning strike hit and burned down the house, and we were quite traumatized because we were not prepared for this. So I think this lightning rod is really going to help with that.
Yeah, now you don't have to worry about that problem anymore.
No, I'm going to place like lightning rods everywhere on my wood roof.
Good.
That's pretty good for
now,
wall roof.
You have a lot of trouble with their inventory and the amount of items.
This is. I can't pause it because we'll see what this is. This is a great thing.
We keep adding new blocks and
because when they run out of inventory space, what do they do?
And good gameplay solution. We want it to be balanced, and we actually have an item in this update that will be really helpful, and it's the bundles.
The bundles. So I wonder how bundles work. Probably. Do I have to kind of like that? Bundles. Ooh, I don't know exactly what the technique is. Bundles. So this is a bundle. Oh, 64 bucks. So we can only hold 64 blocks. 64 blocks of wood. And then, or the combination of, I'm not going to do that right now, but down there. But we need items, and they put them there, and then the 64 blocks. Oh, it changes depending on what the item is. Oh, that's smart. This is going to make Minecraft even more complicated.
Yeah,
that's awesome. People are just going to have inventory space, but I know for...
I love it. I think we spend a lot of time problem. And I think one of the biggest takeaways
well, people like their movement problem. It makes you have to choose certain things.
One part
hot bars, just the
getting
items on
a
top,
lot of blocks for your huge build somewhere. That's like something the shulkers help with. But I think there's a third.
It says shockers on there, and the subtitles are
every time you leave your
accurate.
base to go
Just for when I'm talking, I want to make sure
you're in the pool of the junk. Like this lot.
Yeah, when you're like mining stone, you're about building an extra stone boss.
Just one seed.
Items in one inventory slot. For example, I can take these 2 flowers and 1 seed and put them in one bundle. It's great.
And you can kind of use them like presents too.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
I'm so excited about seeing what players do them in like shopping district, right? You can have the bundle of the day, which has a bunch of things with it, or you can have secret bundle where you have 3 of them in a chest, but you get a random one. I think it's really gonna
that sounds interesting.
If your friend has a birthday, you can put like your pre-diced item in the bundle because it looks like a gift wrapper, and then you can give it to your friend.
That's so cool. We've talked so much today on the like really game thing about all of the different jobs within games.
So many awesome ideas going, and archaeology in Minecraft even meets.
Archaeology?
Yes, so we're actually adding a new system called the Archaeology System.
No, that's going to work.
System. You're basically going to find these excavation sites all
excavation sites, I like the idea. It's like when people like mine up things,
that is going to help you uncover the mysteries of all these dig sites.
The dig sites, yeah, so I love that idea. Dig sites in Minecraft.
Ancient structures, and you can sort of use the brush to clear away some of the rubble.
Yeah, this is kind of like you can have like half blocks.
You might even find something shiny inside them.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can find things shiny.
This is important. If you are not careful enough, like in real life, you can destroy that artifact. And when that artifact is gone, that artifact and all the secrets it held are gone forever.
So your goal is to build something,
huh? If you're careful enough, if you take your time and you're deliberate, you can get some of those hidden artifacts. And for example, here we got a ceramic shard, which is basically how we used to tell and pass on their stories.
I love the story side of the archaeology.
We often
talk about that we want to
archaeology in
Minecraft. And when you find these hidden artifacts, you kind of find like connections and hints. And we will never tell the full story, but these will inspire the players to tell their own stories about their own Minecraft world.
Really excited to see what players do with them. For example, here we see an exhibition that someone built for this, and we can
creative survival. Guys, tell me what you guys want to see in Minecraft.
And you can play that wherever.
This whole video is going to explain it.
You can create, I guess, how those pieces used to connect.
I like the idea to reconnect things and rebuild like things.
In any way you
choose how you want to build them. It's like
exactly. And when you're pleased with your creation, you can fire them up, and you have your own painted clay pot.
Pretty.
We're saying is still work in progress, but I personally like the dragon.
Yeah, this might be 2021, so they're still working on it. There'll be more things added in Minecraft. I want to see Minecraft. We're far away from Minecraft.
Archaeology is amazing. I mean, the excavation site is...
Yeah, that's that idea.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, I'm excited about
spend a lot of time about it, and I actually got to do a lot of awesome conversations with actual archaeologists from all around the world. And it's
on
our YouTube channel where you kind of explore archaeology even more.
Yeah, it's honestly really, really exciting. So I had so much fun with this, and I learned so much.
You might react to the developer diaries.
I decided that it can't stop
with
with
me. How they develop.
So we're gonna do.
I don't want it to be an entire reaction show. I just want to play Minecraft. Come on, that's fun.
And actually, we might even get to visit some interesting locations.
I'm working on building a Minecraft server.
At a new mob, like over the course of the show, like 3 or 4 times.
You can get a little bit of them.
Where are you gonna tell?
I don't know what this one is.
Now we're gonna tell you. It's the cutest predator you will ever meet.
What's this one? What is? Oh, there's a little bit of a creature that's gonna be in the Lush Caves. Axolotls. Yeah, I've seen the hint at it. They tried. Yeah, they hinted at it a lot earlier. You guys are gonna have to go through the entire video to see this. And there will be clips out for you guys to see more. It says I got Minecraft on Axolotl
I feel like there's only one.
What I was saying is they don't have.
Cute.
The
axolotls.
I think this is the final
mob.
mob.
On axolotls. So when we add a new mob to Minecraft, we really want it to have like its own unique character.
I wonder if this will be part of the Lush Caves. They might release this earlier. Cool.
Cute. And the axolotl is perfect. It has all these things.
Kind of cute.
Well, I guess on the ugly cuteness, it might be quite a big emphasis on the cute side from the team.
Yeah, I did say I was
okay, we're gonna add another animal.
Not building, coding.
Like a big picture of an axolotl.
I think I got it in my thing.
This right now.
It's like the definition of ugly cute. It's like made for Minecraft. And then we also found out that axolotls are endangered in the real world. And we think, yes, like with the bees last year, for example.
Bees was 1.2.
Yeah, so the axolotls, they live in the Lush Caves, and they really add a lot of life to the Lush Caves.
By the way, yes, this is so laggy, but we can view snapshots of what their plans are for these updates. But that will be closer. Like the other pictures of what they're showing about how it works, how they design.
So when you're walking around in the Lush Cave and you see some axolotls, then you can actually scoop them up in your bucket and take them with you. So maybe you build like a pretty aquarium for them in your base, or maybe you bring them to your ocean adventure.
Are going to seem like they're going to be a great idea to make Minecraft. And Guardians, that's what you need to get to the Prismarine Temple. I think the players don't get mining fatigue. It makes them mine like 100 times better.
You'll ever meet.
Exactly. So,
like I was saying earlier, we can have shots through Java. We might do that. It's so laggy even more than this.
Yeah, this
service
they will help you fight various. They'll attack cute fish as well, but they'll help you fight the drown.
That is so cool.
When it turns back.
Okay, so you added these updates. It's actually a lot about contrast,
which is great because it creates like a dramatic player experience, which is so good.
So many great things coming to 1.17. You guys are excited.
The Lush Caves are very light and welcoming, and then this
can't wait for this update. Can't wait for this update.
Challenging.
I guess we can't forget our little goat in there. It's kind of the in between.
Yeah. We shouldn't forget the goat. I guess it's still very.
There, let's just scale cuteness, scale terrifying.
On the winner of the mob vote, let's take a look back at some of the day.
This is the Warden, the Lush Caves. Improved cave generation. These are showing what we've seen today as we finish this up. Goats. Wait, they didn't go over goats that in-depthly. Oh, yeah, well, looks like amethyst geodes. Make sure to go back through this thing to see all these little things we've explored today. Learn a bit more about this, and Jeb was, well, he said he would talk about his board games. So in the comments this video was like, what about his board games? Oh, the time element of blocks. They still haven't done that with fortune. Axolotls. Yep, this is the bit we've seen today as we finish this up. Yeah.
Before we get to our mob vote, I think there's one more question people are really gonna want to know. When are we gonna get the caves and the
What do you guys think we're going to get it?
This is a good question. So we plan to release it summertime to get
they want to fix bugs. I hate it when I actually love getting updates.
I love they always have so many good ideas.
Really
so
are
it's good that we don't have a lot of time to actually work
make sure
together.
You guys and everyone here.
Yes.
I think this seems pre-recorded, but also doesn't seem pre-recorded.
Can I go first?
You're gonna know before everyone else.
No squid!
I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.